Julien, the executive producer at Dishonored. Now, I just saw the demo. It looked pretty amazing, and it reminded me a little bit of BioShock, a little bit of Deus Ex, and that's not a coincidence, right?
No, it's pretty much this kind of game that we like to make. So, I mean, BioShock has been a big inspiration, as well as Deus Ex, a game that Harvey Smith worked on, and Harvey is a co-creative director on Dishonored. So yeah, it's just this kind of game that let players choose the way they want to play, basically.
And the choice extends really far. Like, it seems like you can either play super stealthy or super violent in every single mission.
Yeah, the goal was to try to provide the player with tools that let him play either brute force or either totally stealth, and then he can adjust and play anywhere in between those two extremes at any time of the game. So that's basically the idea.
So tell us about some of the powers that the main character has as an assassin.
So you start the game as a Corvo, so you're at the bodyguard of the Empress. At the beginning of the game, you're going to meet a character called the Outsider, and the guy who gives you the powers. And from there, you'll be able to get powers such as bend time to stop time, possession will let you move through the body of rats, fish, or even human beings, or things like dark vision to see through the walls, wind blast to push away enemies, this kind of stuff.
Now, how does the game manage all that? Because you see, let's say you see him teleport from place to place to place. Is there some type of meter or bar that shows how much of that you can do?
Yeah, so typically it's some kind of mana bar. So each time you cast a power, it uses some of that mana. So and then you need to find elixir to replenish your mana. So it's kind of the resources system that works around it.
So whose idea was it to possess a fish? Because when he possessed a fish, I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, it's just the fact that we like to work with systems that are simulated and not scripted. So the idea is that if you can do something like possess a rat, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to possess a fish if there's a fish in the environment. So it's basically just the follow-up idea of possessing a rat, and then we have fish in the level, so we must be able to possess a fish, basically.
Is the game kind of one cohesive thing, or do you move from stage to stage?
Yeah, so the game structure is a linear mission-to-mission sequence, so you move from mission 1 to mission 2. The thing that is non-linear, though, is the way the missions are built themselves, so there are really like tons of ways to approach your objectives. So the mission itself is non-linear, but the mission goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, basically.
And one thing I'm curious about is the world that it takes place in, because I see whale blimps, and it's obviously not our world, but what kind of time frame?
So yeah, it's a fictional world, it's not our world. It takes place in a city named Dunwall. The idea is that we took inspiration from like London in the 17th, 18th century. It's basically a city that discovered a new source of energy with the whale oil, and there's a new technology that is starting around that. So it's some kind of a city before some form of industrial revolution, basically. So it's kind of a steampunk setting as well.
And the art style really reflects that. It's a very unique look. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that at the beginning of the project. We wanted to make something very unique and special that you could recognize at first sight. So we spent a lot of time making sure like the characters have a very special feeling. The colors themselves are very special, the treatment of the textures and all that, just to make something very Dishonored-like, basically.
So tell us a little more about the pedigree of the people like yourself behind this game, because, man, you guys have worked on some awesome titles in the history of everybody on the team, basically.
Yeah, so we have a lot of people on the team who work on games such as Deus Ex, BioShock, Thief as well. So it's a lot of people coming from this kind of game design school, I would say, like who like to build game around player choices and player creativity and expression.
So tell me how you like to play the game, because I saw both kind of the extremes. How do you play?
Well, it depends on the mood of the day, but usually the way I go is I start a little stealth, and then when things are crazy, I just go combat and move on from there, basically.
All right, well, Dishonored is just about the coolest looking game on the floor as far as I'm concerned. Julien, thank you. We really look forward to it. Dishonored 2 coming this fall.